Hi, I'm Lara, and this is my God story. So I was born in Cape Town, South Africa, and when I was young, around elementary school age, my parents were very religious. We went to church, we did family devotionals, we even had a thing that was close to Jameson Cadets called Kinderkrans, something that we had in South Africa. It was very precious at the time. So I praise the Lord that I had that foundation of a Christian upbringing. So when I went to high school, things started to change a little bit in our house. My dad lost his job, my parents got severely depressed, especially my mum. My dad struggled to find work, so things were financially very stressed in our house, and also it took a toll on their faith life. No more family devotionals, no more going to church. Sometimes my dad would insist my brother and I go, and then he would go and drop us off, but they never came with us, and it was an incredibly hard time in our family. I started to drift from the Lord right about there. And I got married 2003, 2006, my husband and I moved to Canada. We were first in like a very small town in Saskatchewan, southeast corner, very, very few people, very isolated. We stayed in Saskatchewan for about 10 years. Had a lot of hardships. Being an immigrant, it was very isolating. It was very tough not having family or close friends around. In those days, you couldn't even talk via text the way we can now. You can only email. So it was a tough time, and I got very angry and frustrated with the Lord. And this all came into a halt in 2014 when my mum passed away suddenly. We weren't very close, but that shook my foundation completely. I spiraled down to a very, very dark place. It was as if all the joy has been sucked out of my life. I couldn't feel happiness. I couldn't feel anything but just this feeling of isolation and loneliness and despair. And looking back now I know what it feels like to be removed from God. But I got to a point where I just decided I don't even believe in Him anymore. And that went on for about 2 years. And then in 2016, when I got to a point where I didn't even want to live anymore, Jesus came for me. He really chased after me. And it started from out of nowhere. I would recite the Apostles' Creed, something I remember from my childhood. It wasn't something I was deliberately calling up, but it was in my head and I couldn't get it out, and I was reciting it over and over and over. And the only thing that would give me peace at the time was writing out Bible verses, and I would write them out until I just surrendered and I said, Jesus, you take over my life. I know this is you, I know you're calling me, I know you have a purpose, I'm surrendering, and everything in my life changed. It was 3 weeks and I was pregnant after I gave my life to the Lord, and it has been just absolutely amazing to see how He guides my life, how He has done it before I even knew it, and people He's put into place, even when I wasn't following Him the way I should have been, even when I was denying His existence out of my own stupidity. He was always there steering me and calling me and calling me. I live for Christ now. My faith is like breathing to me. I try to seek Him in everything I do. I even pray about the stupidest, littlest things. When you're in the car, pray. When you're on the road, pray. When you're in your house, pray. When you're vacuuming, pray. I think that's what the Lord wants. He wants that kind of relationship with us, and it's good for us too. So in 2016, after I dedicated my life to Christ, we moved to Abbotsford, and I started to look for a church. Started to go to church in our neighborhood, and I think Gateway was about the third or the fourth one I visited, and there was just something very special about it. I'm going to name names now, but I would never forget the first time I walked into the door. There was Geraldine Weineman with her smile, and she said, "Hello, welcome." And it was like coming home all of a sudden, and lots of other people that the Lord planted here that had such an impact on my life. Heather Postma, to name another one of many. So that's when I knew that this is where the Lord wanted me to be. There was something very special about Gateway, and I'm glad that I'm part of the Gateway family now. Okay, I'm Lara, this is my God story.